Bjarke Ingels, of course, started with Bjarke Ingels, the founder. When I joined, it was a family of 20, 30 people, and now we're a firm of 500, split between Copenhagen, New York, Barcelona, and London. So where does Bake get its work? Of course, there are those people who come to Bake looking for our way of thinking, and that's always, I think, for any architect, the best is someone coming with a direct commission. But of course, we also look in many parts of the world to find projects and take part in tenders and RFPs. So it's a combination of both. We're currently working in 40 different countries and have 25 projects or so under construction, with many also in concept and in sketch. But I also think it's a reflection of actually our staff. We come from so many different countries, the Bigsters, and they also know about what's happening in their respective countries and let us know so that we can go after projects in those places. For Big, quality of life, I think, is actually what we're trying to address in any and all of our projects. Raising the quality of life. So you could say it's Google working on the Google campus and on many projects, both in London and in California. It's to raise the quality of the work experience, making sure that people can work in the best environments in order for the most innovative ideas to kind of come forth. The ski slope on top of the power plant in Copenhagen is also trying to raise the quality of life, that a power plant isn't something that just, you don't want to live next to. It's actually something that can benefit the community and can also create a recreational area, so that it's also creating a healthier kind of community. So I would say in any and all of our projects, we're certainly looking for raising the quality of life, because we find that that's also the easiest way for people to transform, let's say, from a right now fuel fossil system to an alternative energy system. If you're just describing it in what you're going to lose, then it's a very hard argument to make. If you describe it in the quality of life is better with alternative energy, then more people will probably move in that direction. So I think people have a misconception that Big only works on new projects. We work on many historical projects. And, Copenhagen is a city of almost 800 years old, so many of the projects that we even design in Copenhagen and in Denmark are historically based. So if you look at our Surfarts Danish Seafaring Museum or the Tirpitz Museum, we're actually working with UNESCO World Heritage Sites, Smithsonian Institution here in the United States. It's working in one of the most historically significant sites in all of the United States. We find that it is imperative to work both in a contemporary sense, but also with history. And I would say that architecture, the majority of what architects do is work with existing buildings and within existing city fabrics. So that's transformation is actually a very, very big part of our work. And in the Form Giving exhibition, it's also an entire chapter of projects that speak about the transformation of projects and breathing new life into them. So Bigsters is, of course, anyone that's currently working here within any of the offices. We're all Bigsters, and actually it also extends to anyone who worked in the office. We call them ex-Bigsters or Bigster alumni. We are a family, and right now I think we have about 580 Bigsters working right now in the 4 offices, and we probably have about 12 or 1300 Bigsters that have previously worked with us and are now working either in their own offices or in others. For us, it's once you've actually experienced the camaraderie and the colleagues, you want to sort of continue to stay connected and to communicate with them. And for us, it's not a bad necessarily that someone is leaving, because in many ways you cross paths with that person again. And so for us, it's actually a much larger extended network globally. And we've even had sort of Bigster alumni celebrations at the end of when the Serpentine opened. We welcomed 300 or 400 ex-Bigsters to celebrate with us. So in Venice, we have the pirate ships that we invite everybody that's in Venice to celebrate with us. These are, for us, very, very important places to create culture and to celebrate what everyone is sort of doing and partaking in. So what I think is very special about Big is the Bigsters, the people who actually make all of this great work. And I think also, if you look further, it's the leadership, the 17 partners that have been working together now for over a decade, and that led by Bjarke, who's created this incredible adventure that we're all on. It's a camaraderie and a kind of colleagueship that I have not experienced previously or prior. We're all very much in tune with really wanting to work on the biggest challenges and wanting to put forth work and projects that are meaningful to us and to those that we work with. So I think it's very, our space is really a reflection of how we work. So it's interesting that Bjarke doesn't have a desk. He's moving from group to group, working within each of the groups, or he's meeting in a meeting room and the groups come to the meeting room. The partners have the same space as any of the interns that are working here. It's in that way not hierarchical, and everyone has equal access to everyone. I think we've tried to create a space that is in many ways open to ideas, open to building a mock-up one-to-one scale, open to kind of realizing dreams and testing things. It's not so perfect that you have to keep everything as is. It's meant to really be a laboratory in the biggest sense. So the model shop is always the heart of the office, and where we build and prototype the ideas. And then the desks are arranged in sort of teams that are working on a specific project. We try to have a very open space so that everyone can hear and also see what other groups are working on. We have big schools and big pictures, big study trips, as you know, that all are there to kind of share experience and knowledge across from team to team and office to office. So even the big window where we have a real-time connection to all of the offices that we have, is for us, really a basic need so that we can see each other and feel connected.